We've traveled across the United States for the After Hours Club. From New York City to Los Angeles, we've had a lot of memorable experiences and met a lot of remarkable people along the way.
One of the things that none of us will ever forget happened in the spring. We stopped in Albuquerque, New Mexico for an annual event that reminded us of how rich the cultural landscape in America can be, and how parts of it go unnoticed or unappreciated by so many people in this country.
The annual Gathering of Nations in New Mexico was unlike anything we've ever seen. Native Americans from across the country came to mingle, to dance and sing, and to celebrate their vibrant and highly diverse culture, a culture which most non-Native Americans know very little about.
The Gathering of Nations is the largest powwow. It's the powwow that everyone looks forward to. Yeah, you have all of these great dancers, drum groups that are competing as well for prize money. And then we have the right atmosphere, the food, the dancing, the music. So it's a culmination of all these things that makes the Gathering of Nations. Not all tribal people do powwow, but basically the idea is all of these different dance categories or dance styles came from various northern and southern plains tribes. We're in a sense donated to the circle of powwow or the event or activity of powwow, and so over the years it's socially it's done in many tribal tribes, but not all tribes do powwow. So eventually it just became its own movement, and it becomes sort of like the rodeo circuit. You have cowboys that go on the road and they travel to various cities and towns and they compete for prize money. Over the time, powwow has become that. All these different families go and travel all through the summer. It usually starts with the Gathering of Nations to kick off the season, travel all the way through till November, and they compete on various contest dancing. It preserves history and tradition through the dances, through the songs, through those that come here to share their story.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again we want to welcome you to the Gathering of Nations Championship Powwow 2017 and our newly crowned Tingley Arena Coliseum.
There's a lot of energy at the powwow, but it all jumps to a new level during the grand entry. Representatives of dozens of Native American tribes start dancing into the Coliseum at the state fairgrounds, all dressed in meticulously crafted regalia representing their own tribes. And it goes on and on for the better part of an hour, the floor becoming more and more crowded as group after group comes in.
It's only then that you realize just how many different Native American tribes there are in the U.S., and that's not counting those that no longer exist. Between aggressive campaigns to destroy or relocate Native Americans, as well as smallpox and other diseases introduced by Europeans, several tribes were either forced to merge with larger tribes, or else they were simply wiped out. But the Gathering of Nations, like other powwows, is founded on a basis of sharing between Native American groups, pooling their cultural resources to create something unique and powerful to ensure their core traditions survive.
So all of these different dances that were given to the powwow circle, anyone can do them from any tribe, even though it's not your own tradition or culture to do perhaps the grass dance or the jingle dress dance. You can, since it's been given to the circle, you can learn about it, understand it, make your own outfit, and then be a part of it. But you always have to do it for the right reasons and understand where the dance originated from and why it's done. So therefore powwow is its own movement. So you have all of these community powwows, competition powwows. It could be in some small Native American community, or you can have in the Denver Coliseum. It could be in a football stadium in some major city. So these powwows happen everywhere. A lot of people tend to think of Native Americans from the past, from our past. They're always saying how we used to be, or you know, they associate us with the past, when actually Native American culture is living today. It's forward, it's future, you know, and it's hard to get the typical person to understand that we're a living people today. And it's, yeah, we have a great past and a great history, and our people suffered many atrocities and challenges, but those are our ancestors, and they're gone now, and it's us now that's here, and we're everyday people working as a taxi driver, and we're working in businesses, in business, we're lawyers, we're priests, people of all, you know, just like any modern Native person, but we also have that connection to our culture and our traditions.
Don't think that we've forgotten about death. We wanted to get a modern perspective on what Native Americans believe about it. Emmett says they're a true representation of America in that area because of their great diversity in their beliefs.
Death for many Native people everyone has a different opinion. Just like anybody in America, no matter where you go, if you were to go into a mall and ask any person, everyone would have a different view of what death is, the afterlife, about burial, about funerals, but everything, you know. It's the same with Native people. People tend to come to our communities and kind of want a general answer that we all believe in this certain way. And the same when on the political side, people say, oh, who do the Native Americans of your tribe support, Hillary or, you know, Donald Trump? And it's like, it's either or, you know. Half of our tribe supports Donald Trump, the other half was Hillary, or everyone has a different opinion, you know, and it's like that. Like I mentioned before, we're modern Native people. We all have the same concerns as everybody in America. So that's the same for the thought process of death. Everyone has different faiths, everyone has different opinions about death, about funerals, about the afterlife. All of that is very unique to each person.
While Native Americans follow a variety of religions, including various branches of Christianity, that diversity doesn't mean that they've forgotten the beliefs of their ancestors, some of which still follow those ways today.
On my father's side, I am Oto Missouri, and on my mother's side, I am Cherokee, enrolled into the Cherokee tribe, and also Shawnee. With my father's funeral, we buried him within 4 days. And our beliefs are that the spirit stays with the body for 4 days. And as family gather around and sing songs and prayers, that body is then able to go up to heaven or to go to the Great Spirit or the happy hunting ground. At my father's funeral, he had a special song that they sang in Ponca and Oto. And as they were singing it in my mind's eye, I could see my father dancing up the path to go to the Great Spirit. And my sister saw that as well. So I think after 4 days, that's when the spirit releases and goes up to where it needs to be.
We all share a cultural connection to the afterlife. If you ask any Native person, they will all pretty much say they believe in afterlife. They'll believe in their ancestors or their family members who have passed. It's with them at all times. And you know, that will be, I would say that will be the general thought process of most Native American peoples. There is a connection to their ancestors, to their relatives who've passed, and that there is an afterlife, and they do believe in some kind of prayer. But I tell you, most Native people and cultures believe that all faiths are the same. No faith is greater than another faith.
The Gathering of Nations is a cultural extravaganza on many levels. One of the big takeaways we got was a sense that Native Americans have a strong belief in community, and it extends well beyond social and racial boundaries.
We've had visitors come here to the gathering from, like, perhaps New Zealand, from the Maori tribe. They come here, and instead of approaching them like, you're different than us, your ways are different, you're different people, we're actually saying, you're our relatives. You're the same as us. We share the same things. We have the same things in common. So we're able to connect right away and become relatives, and we're accepting of them as soon as we even see them. So a lot of indigenous people that come to the gathering feel that and they're wanting to be a part of it. And so I think that our Native people have the answer to peace. It's just encouraging all the rest to buy into that idea